everyone. Welcome to Relationship Soup. I'm your host, Lisa Hughes. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. How y'all doing today? How was your Tuesday? How's your Tuesday been? How was your weekend? Hope your weekend has been great. I hope your Tuesday's been great. I hope all is well. Are y'all still loving 2026? How y'all feeling, right? How y'all feeling about this weather, right? You in the Midwest, this is what it do around almost spring. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me today. Y'all know I appreciate you. Whether you are pulling up tonight, whether you are watching me live on YouTube, Facebook, rerun, whatever, I see you, I appreciate you, and I love you. So anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. Now look, no, I've already gotten the text message. Is this your 100th episode? No, this is not the 100th episode yet. This is episode 99.25. Okay, 99.25. Right. What I really wanted to do, I just wanted to kind of come on and tease the episode because our 100th episode will be March 31st. So, I wanted to come on, kind of tease it, still do my check-in. I didn't want to just leave y'all without nothing. Right. This episode is going to be really special. So, got some things lined up. Wanted to make sure it was a good date for, some previous guests and things like that. So anyway, this is 99.25 episode. Okay. So it ain't the 100 because I got the text message like, no, that's the 31st. Right. So anyway, again, I really do appreciate you all. Y'all know I got to do some housekeeping or whatever. Right. So let me go ahead and do that. Feel free. This episode is going to be pretty short and sweet. Just kind of wanted to, sit down with y'all, do a temperature check. And, this tease was coming up because that 100th episode, it's going to be a chef's kiss. I'm just telling you. So anyway, you already know what I'm going to say, y'all. Follow across all platforms. It's Relationship Soup period on YouTube, right? If you want to join the forum, it's Relationship Soup Group. All right. If you want to follow me, it's Relationship Soup LLC. Of course, the greeting cards, all that is still there. And that's relationshipsoup.com. All right. And of course, y'all already know what I'm going to talk about because it has been the love for Hello Me has been absolutely amazing. I love y'all so much. And I'm going to say that. If ain't nobody told you that they love you today, I genuinely love y'all. All right. Y'all showing so much love, not just because y'all show love for Hello Me, for Relationship Soup and stuff like that. I just appreciate the support. But back to Hello Me. Hello Me is my 100-page picture affirmation book for children with a journal that's available on Amazon and across several platforms. Thank y'all so much for buying the book. Some of y'all ain't got kids and y'all still buying the book. And it's just so much good stuff in here. Hello Me has opened so many doors. Like I've really been busy walking in purpose. I'm just feeling so blessed because I'm walking in purpose, on purpose. You feel me? Everything that I'm doing at this point in life, I love it. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all. Get these babies the Book of Life. I got it in the hardback and the paperback as well. So, definitely Hello Me, available on Amazon. I got the QR code up there. So hit that QR code. All right. So hit that code and get Hello Me today. All right. So let me see here. Do I have any comments? I see y'all comments. I'm going to go ahead and bring them on. We're going to get into today's little episode. It's 99.25. It's not the 100th episode yet. Okay. Thank you, Jay Desiree. I appreciate you for joining me today, beautiful cousin. I appreciate you. Okay. Who's that? Okay. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Is that Kyrie Brown? I appreciate you. Hey, cousin Kim. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you and thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. It ain't the 100th episode yet, but it's coming. It is coming. This is 99.25. All right. Hey, Master Aaron, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me today. You are a new listener. I haven't seen you before, so thank you. Make sure that you following, subscribing, and liking across all platforms. Hey, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all the love, Omar. Thank you so much. James Smith. Oh, it's been a minute, James. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. All right, boom. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into today. Y'all know I'm not going to keep y'all too long. This is just going to be pretty much short and sweet. Just kind of, like I said, I want to tease it. I just want to tease it a little bit, So anyway, so let me see here. Where do I want to start? Let's see here. I'm going to actually start with just a funny little story, y'all. I cannot believe that we are up to 100 episodes. Like the 50th episode was cool, right? Like 50 episodes, okay, cool, right? And then, for it to just be us approaching the 100 episode, that is such a blessing. Like I really didn't even have the expectation. I just kind of wanted to get on here, and expand the platform, because so many of you supported the platform. Like, there's thousands and thousands of members in, our Facebook group. And then we have a follow on Instagram and stuff like that. But anyway, so to be almost to 100, thank y'all. I really appreciate it, because y'all be tuning in and, giving feedback and really learning from the content. And I really appreciate that. And I just kind of wanted to share a quick story because it was so funny. Daniel Artest, y'all know that's really one of my really good friends. He was just kind of like, I remember he would just be at me, like he would just be on me. At the time I was, going through a really rough time. Y'all know what my 2023 was, for those of you that have been, following, the platform for a while. 2023 was crazy. Loss. One of the darkest moments of my life. And I remember Daniel was like, oh, yo, Lise, he from New York. So he was like, oh, yo, Lise, you got to really get on. Like, why don't you do the podcast? Because he was starting a podcast and he was getting sponsorships, like really doing it big. And, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I remember one day, Daniel was like, hey, I didn't set up a meeting for you. And I'm like, okay, that's what's up, right? And so it was crazy because I had this meeting with him and this person who actually turned out to be, I think it was my third show. And it was around or about, it was a little bit after that. But anyway, and here it is. This guest was already booked, like looking, so when am I going to come on? And it was like he's ex-NBA player and had a story book, this wonderful, just wonderful episode. But I just say that to say just even the support and how everything just fell into place. Daniel was like, hey, I got this guest. You going to go on and do this. I didn't have no microphone. I didn't know what platform I was going to stream to. And here it is. I had this guest that was doing like big stuff. You know what I mean? Like he's been on like real stuff. Like, I don't know, what's that, ESPN, all that sport. I mean, he's been on real, not saying anything against my platform, but it was just like, oh my goodness, I got to get it together. So here it is. I had the mic, and y'all know when I started out, I had a co-host, Dwayne Cobb was my co-host. And then here come Music Man. Hey, I got your theme song. I got something dope that people still vibe out to. So it's just amazing that when you walk in purpose or you take those steps that, just how everything seems to fall in place. And so, anyway, I'm just really so grateful for the understanding and just the support, of course, it might not look like numbers that other podcasts have and stuff like that. But for me, that's cool because it's really about purpose for me. It really, truly is. And it truly means the world when, someone says, hey, yo, I was listening to your episode and, I didn't think of it from that perspective. That's always a blessing, right? And I get a lot of that. And even when I go out and about, right? I ain't feeling like, I'm signing no autographs or nothing. It's been so much love. Like, I remember I was out and about and this person was like, oh yeah, you Lisa Hughes, you got that podcast. And I'm like, what? Well, yes, I am, and, staying, grounded with it. But it's just always a blessing, just to know that what you do really impacts others. Just like with Hello Me, it's such a blessing because this one's for the babies, right? But when that child, that will forever be burned in my heart, like in a good way. When he walked up to me and was like, Hello Me is helping me with my dreams, Mrs. Hughes. That means everything to me. So, the positive feedback and to know that it's actually making a difference is why I love walking in my purpose on purpose. You feel me? Even though it might not look like, all the sponsorships, it might not look this way, just to know that you are making an impact and the creator smiling on that means everything to me. It really does. So I see your comments. I'm definitely going to bring on the rest of your comments. So And I just appreciate it because even in my prayers for, my career, my business, whatever, I pray for a relationship soup. I really want people that genuinely mess with me. You feel me? That really love me. And I know I do feel like people that watch me love me, and I appreciate it. And y'all support me and y'all give me understanding and all that. And I just really do appreciate that. So this has been a wonderful journey. And it's just, even taking the little hiatus, the understanding that, y'all had or whatever, y'all could have just fell off like, she taking it. And, because when you're not consistent with content in social media world, it just seems like, people fall off. And, like I said, I'm grateful for what Relationship Soup does have. I really am. I'm grateful for y'all because, again, y'all have been understanding. You've still supported, and I appreciate that. And as y'all know, a lot has just really been going on in life. I'm going to have a transparent moment because I feel like I can do that with y'all, right? Y'all been transparent with me. I'm going to be transparent with y'all. It's just been a lot. I ain't going to lie to kick it. It's been a lot going on, which a lot of us probably have a lot going on. Just even with Hello Me, nurturing that, and while it's healing, it's exciting, it's also terrifying because this is a huge responsibility. When you are walking in purpose and you are impacting people, that's a huge responsibility. Now, I ain't no pastor or nothing. Ain't never gonna be no pastor. That ain't my portion. That's not my calling. It's still that I still feel a responsibility in how I move with the purpose that I do have. You feel me? So, it's just all of that, and not only that, just even the personal side of life, although I'm someone that has been known to talk about relationships of all kinds, you know what I mean? To truly be navigating the stuff behind the scenes, it'd be a fool. It really be a fool because, life just don't end, after I log out. It's just so much going on. I'm grateful for it all, though. I really am, because it's positioning, it's further positioning, and it's further purpose. So, I can definitely appreciate that for real. So let's see here. Thank you for keeping the soup flowing. Thank you so much, James. I really do appreciate that. Happy Tuesday. Yes. Thank you so much, Sonality. You have been a huge support, and I really do appreciate that. I really sincerely do. I appreciate you. Hi, Derek. Yes, superhumans. Yes, we are. We are. We are phenomenal humans. We really are. Thank you so much for the love and light. Life do be life and ebbs and flows. Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, I just want y'all to know that it really means so much. And, like I said, I really just didn't want to leave y'all hanging. And I really want the last episode to really, not the last episode. Let me not speak that. That ain't what I meant, creator. Not the last episode, Lord willing. The 100th episode, I just really wanted it to be, I want it to be special. So like I said, I just really didn't want to leave y'all hanging. Been really taking the time. I done reached out to previous guests. A lot of these guests y'all was loving. It's been a lot of wonderful reception. So look forward to that 100th episode. You're going to see some familiar faces, and it's going to be a true celebration, y'all. So, I think that's kind of relationship soup of me to take my time with this. Do you think? Just about being honest about, where I am and, and all that, instead of being fake. I ain't going to be fake about it, right? Life is what it is, right? But I'm really blessed for being able to walk in purpose. So I've already shared a little bit of the journey with y'all. Something else that really means a lot, I thought about, because as I'm going through these episodes, I'm kikiing, I'm laughing, and I'm like, man, live. And, I've gotten the question so much, do you want to really continue to keep on going live? And I do. Live is everything. Don't get me wrong. I can appreciate, because I follow several podcasts, and I can definitely appreciate a polished podcast. But some of the bloopers that have happened on this show, it is hilarious. And, I just feel like it's really real and raw when it's live, because this ain't even no script. This is it. This is what you get. And so, I really do appreciate that. Will there be more pre-records in the future? We'll see. But live, I really appreciate going live. And again, it's so rewarding just when people say, hey, I got something from this episode, or, let me pour into let me pour into Relationship Soup. Let me share this, or let me share this talent. Let me help you with this behind the scenes and stuff like that. So I definitely can always appreciate that. So let's see here. What else? Because I said I ain't going to keep this too long. And, to be honest, too, there has been times where I'm like burnt out. I'm like, yo, and maybe that was a slip up earlier where I thought like, man, I'm burnt out. Like, do I want to keep on going? Especially with, things going on in life. It's just like, do I want to keep on going? Is it, just the questions that you have when you're walking in purpose or when you're doing a project or whatever. But what really pulls me back in are the guests, are you all, the viewers, the support, the love, and all of that. And just still knowing that this is purpose. So, I'm just really blessed for that. So, yeah, so that is where I'm at. And let's see here. What else do I want to share with y'all? Because y'all know I ain't keeping y'all long tonight. I'm getting my dinner a little early tonight. Let's see here. Again, I've reached out to all the guests. I've reached out to all of y'all. So check y'all DMs, okay? Make sure that you're checking your DMs. And so many of y'all have responded, okay? And if you want to, even appear as a guest on the 100th episode, right? Get at me, DM me, right? So I'm also open to that as well. It's some special things definitely lined up for the 100th episode. It's some wonderful things lined up. Now, I'm going to be honest. I really want this to feel like our episode. And y'all know I've said that even in the Relationship Soup platform, over the years, I'm like, well, what do y'all want to see? How do y'all want this to go? Because, I never wanted to just be about me, right? Which it doesn't make sense. I want your input as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put those out there. Not to lean on me. Now that's in my head. All right, so I'm going to put this out there. All right, so some questions that I want y'all to be thinking about. And you can DM these to me, if you're in contact with me or whatever. Y'all know y'all can call me, whatever, but just DM it. You can put it in the thread as well. But my first question is, what has been your favorite topic or moment from Relationship Soup? It could be an episode, a quote, a conversation that stuck with you. I just really want to know what landed. I really do want to know what has landed with you all. All right. So that's one question. My second question, let me go ahead and put this in here as well. And I'm going to leave these in there. And I'll be checking these threads quite a bit from now through the 31st. So my second question is, what do you wish we had talked about that we haven't yet? Right? Because there are so many topics, and by Relationship Soup basically being a platform where we talk about all relationships of all kinds, let me know what's something that y'all wish that we've talked about or we need to talk about. What's the one relationship topic you are waiting for me to dig into? So let me know. I really want to know how y'all feeling about that. All right. And then, oh goodness. I'm going to go and put this out there anyway. And I was just having a conversation with someone about this. All right. So my next question is, do you have a question for me? Something you've always wanted to ask? Like episode 100 feels like the right time to answer questions, right? Okay. So just think about that. Like, we're going to see how it goes because, with my shows, I see how that spirit moves. All right. So if there's something that you've always wanted to ask me, feel free to DM me, put it in thread or whatever. Right. So anyway, hit me on Instagram. You can DM me there. Facebook, DM me there. You can put it in the thread. And like I said, if you know me personally or whatnot, feel free to reach out to me. I always value y'all input anyway. So we will leave that there. So this is your show too. That's just something that's really important. This is your show too. So help me make it worth it. Whatever it is that y'all want to see, let's talk about it. Put it out there, right? I'm with it. I ain't one of them people where it always got to be about me, because relationship has always been about relationships of all kinds. It's been about you too. All right. So let's see. Is there anything else? Is there anything else coming? Do y'all have any other comments for me? There you go, Soup. We missed you all. Absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. And I definitely have some plans for the soup. Of course, there's always areas for growth, and improvement. And so we just gonna see where that goes. So, like I said, episode 100 is going to be a celebration, y'all. There will be guests that y'all loved, and some of them that y'all was kind of side-eyeing, but that's okay. It all adds to the understanding and purpose, right? And I may even eat something before that episode so we can stay a little longer. We're going to see, because over time, I know there's been several of you to be like, yo, you should have a longer episode. Why are you're only an hour. Well, Tuesdays are my full day, but we'll see how it goes, right? We're just going to flow with it, right? We're going to really go deep. We're going to look back at things. We're going to look at biggest lessons, and we're going to really think about what this show has taught all of us. Let's think about it, about romantic relationships. I mean, relationships of all kind, romantic, family, friendships, with food. We've talked about all of that. And most importantly, the relationship that you have with yourself. We're going to get into all of that. So, definitely get those questions in, because we're going to be addressing questions. We're going to be reminiscing. So get them all in, even the hard questions, the stuff that y'all might think about, like, I'm wondering, or I would like to see. Let me know. All right. Let's see here. Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else. Y'all got any other comments for me? Oh, let's see here. I see you. Feminism and the Black community. I'm not scared. I've done my homework. Now, Derek, you know how that went over in the soup, but let's look at it. Let's see what we can, let's figure that out. Maybe I'll have a panel discussion or something. We're going to have to figure that out, because what matters to you all as well. I definitely want to make sure that I am, keeping that at the forefront as well. I have an episode idea. I'll hit you up later. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much. Yeah, James, absolutely. Hit me up later. Absolutely. That is totally fine with me. 100th episode needs to be more than an hour because it's a celebration of a milestone. Okay, I hear you. 2 hour, especially. Okay, so y'all saying 2 hours, huh? Okay, y'all like 2 hours? Let's see what we can make shake. I'm with it. All right, so let's see. Is there anything else? Since there's no other comments or anything, that's all I really have for today. Like I said, short, sweet, and intentional. Just like a good relationship should be, right? Yeah, so anyway, like I said, the 100th episode drops March 31st. You all will be getting the invites. Like I said, if you've been a guest before, make sure that you're checking your inbox. Hit me up. Let me know if it's a yay or nay, so we can plan accordingly. Get your question in, get your memories in. Just get ready. It's going to be good. Right? And if this show has meant something to you, share it. Y'all already know what I'm going to say. Send it to someone that needs it. Help me get new ears before we hit the new milestone, right? Before we hit that milestone, help me get some more followers, y'all. That's always nice. And, I always appreciate any support, spreading the word, sharing it to your page, telling others or whatever. And make sure that y'all subscribing on YouTube as well. Definitely get them follows up on YouTube. Let's see here. What else? I'm going to go ahead and do an affirmation. Y'all know how I feel about these affirmations. This one is kind of long. Last week, remember, I had kind of shortened it a little bit. And it's actually not going to show it all. But divine order is now established in Relationship Soup. Every episode has been divinely guided. Every listener divinely led here for a reason. 100 episode is God's perfect plan and perfect timing. And I give thanks to know the best is yet to come. That's something my daddy would always say. Lisa, the best is yet to come, right? And I believe that. And I hope that you take that away too. The best is still yet to come. Don't give up. Even when life hits you the worst, the best is still yet to come, right? So don't give up. Don't do that. Speaker Box, how are you? I appreciate you. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. Hope you and wifey is doing wonderful. I seen the most recent event that y'all had. It looked amazing. Absolutely. I seen the pictures. I put a heart on them. So anyway, and I want to keep on wishing you, Speaker Box, love and light and much success. You and your wife are doing fantastic things. And I think that's really a beautiful thing. When a husband and wife can come together in purpose and make an impact as well, I think that is really, truly a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, love and light to y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And, I'm so proud of y'all too, because I already know the attack that is on marriage anyway, right? Especially, I can say I have a husband, okay? Spiritual attack is real, and I ain't gonna turn into no pastor, nothing that, like I said, that ain't my calling, that ain't my portion. I'm just saying that, I can appreciate you and your wife still moving forward in purpose with everything that y'all doing. Your wife has, the therapy, and then there's so much that y'all got y'all hands in, and y'all still keeping it together, and y'all still moving forward. So I definitely wish y'all divine protection, light, and love on that. Seriously. Because everybody wasn't able to do that. They wasn't able to do it. And it might not have been their mission to do it. And that's okay. All right, so let's see here. Do I want to do anything else? Oh yeah. So I just let me go ahead and do this little housekeeping before I give my little shout outs, and then I'm going to get out of here. You already know. Relationship Soup period on YouTube. Make sure that you're liking, subscribing across all platforms. Relationship Soup group if you want to join the forum on Facebook. Relationship Soup group, get in there. And then if you want to follow me, it's Relationship Soup LLC. There is definitely the website for greeting cards and stuff like that. Definitely have some things lined up for that. And of course, y'all already know Hello Me, available on Amazon. Check that QR code and start spreading the word. Hello Me. Are you saying hello me? Let these babies say hello me early in life. Let's plant that seed, because we already know that this world, it is what it is. And so it's just really important to instill that. What else? Let's see here. Laughing at what a husband. Listen, I had used that term in class, right? It's just a long story. And people just laugh about the word husband. Yeah, a husband. It just seemed too much to be like my ex-husband. Like, that's just so long, husband. Let's just keep it in one little, Yeah, and I do believe, I know God has a lot for me. Absolutely. And, divine timing is a beautiful thing within God's timing. You feel me? So, yeah, absolutely. God he definitely has some things for me. And I don't want it if it ain't for him, whether it's a person, place, situation. I don't want it. If it ain't from the creator, I'm Gucci. I am good, right? That's one thing I've learned. One of the many things I learned. I ain't trying to rush no timing. I ain't trying to rush none of that, right? Perfect divine timing. That's so important. All right. So is there anything else that I need to share? All right. I just want to give a shout out to everyone. I appreciate y'all. My mama, I appreciate the support. Episode 99.25. Because I was like, is that corny? I'm questioning, but then I'm like, yo, this is my platform. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do a 99.25, might do a 99.5 next week. I don't know. But we're going to get to that 100th episode, and it's going to be everything. It absolutely is. It's going to be everything. All right, y'all. So I've given my shout outs. I really appreciate that. All of y'all. Thank y'all so much. People in the studio, y'all show up every week. Just about. Most of the time, y'all show up. And I appreciate that. It'd be nice having people in the virtual studio. So, and if any of y'all ever want to join the virtual studio, let me know. I appreciate y'all, all the love. I can't thank y'all enough. And so, here's to episode 99.25 and Lord willing, many more. All right. So I don't see no more of y'all comments. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I missed anything else. So since that's all I got for tonight, again, get those memories in, get those questions in, get with your show request in, all of that. If you want to be a guest, hey, get that in too. Let me know. Just DM me, reach out. If you know me personally, just call me. We can make some shape. We can definitely do that. But other than that, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here tonight. Thank y'all so much for allowing me to spend this 30 minutes with y'all. And I love y'all so much. And I look forward to the next show. And, as always, it starts with you. You got to love yourself, right? And until we meet next time, peace.